Welcome back to today's segment of the Meek Brown Show. There's so many great things going on in the city, including women entrepreneurship and women leaders. Today I have with me Kathy Holloman to discuss her experiences on up to entrepreneurship. We hope you enjoyed this show. Kathy Holloman, how are you today?
I'm awesome, thank you.
The Cake Diva, and you're always a diva. Pleasantly to look at. How are you?
I'm beautiful, thank you.
You know, I am so excited to have you on the show today. We're just going to go in as we do all the other shows. Before we even talk about your business success, let's go back a little bit, because you've done many things. You wore many hats. Your mother.
Absolutely.
And you are now an entrepreneur.
I am.
As far as being a mother, did you always know you wanted to be a business owner? Let's start there.
I did, but just not baking. I had my first daughter when I was 21, then the other one at 23.
Okay.
And I did hair in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So I was doing hair at that particular time. And once the kids were born and I relocated back down to South Carolina, I became a supervisor for MCI.
Well, let me start back. So you're originally from South Carolina?
I was born here. I spent most of my childhood here.
Okay.
And the remaining childhood and adulthood in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, you said you had always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
But you were a mother, you started working, and let's go ahead and finish with the story. I'm sorry. So you were at MCI.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when I located back to South Carolina, I became a supervisor for MCI.
Okay.
I stopped doing hair. I had knee surgery, which brought on 3 screws. So I stopped doing hair, absolutely. And did that for several years, and then they actually relocated, but I wasn't willing to move to Utica, New York with them.
Okay.
So I stayed here, and I became a manager for a soul food restaurant on 2 nights. So yeah, I wear many hats.
You do?
I do a bit of everything.
Okay.
I did that for maybe a few years. After that, I took a breather.
Okay.
I stopped working. Well, I didn't literally stop working, but I stopped working.
Okay.
Went back to school, and once I finished, that's when I became one of my highlighted jobs. I became the general manager of Pure Ultra Lounge.
I remember that.
Club that Stephen Davis owned from the Panthers. And I did that for 6 years.
Okay.
Now, while I was the general manager there, that's when I went back to my baking. I didn't start baking to make money out of it.
Right.
It was for my family. And when the kids,
and it was a passion. You liked doing that.
Absolutely. And when the kids came around me, kitty cat, can we do this? So I said, let me do this for the kids. So I got tired. Honestly, I got bored and tired of shopping. So I went to school to learn how to decorate. But they didn't teach me what I do. They taught me what you see at the supermarkets. Sheet cakes, buttercream. So I'm a self-taught decorator. I took other classes online. I went out of state to take classes. So what you see is all me.
Self-made, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So after the 6 years of being the general manager at Pure, I decided it was time for me to step off and, leap out on faith. It was scary, but I've never had to ask anybody for anything. I'm good, and my business has grown, and it is what it is.
And you haven't looked back since?
I hadn't looked back. One of my top clients is Fantasia. Been baking for her for 6 years come December.
That is very impressive. So tell us a little bit about that. How did she find the Cake Diva?
It started back from when I was the general manager at the club. We had her at the club several times, so she knew me, but she didn't know that I baked. And when her son Dallas was turning 1, with a mutual friend, her personal trainer, she would look for somebody, and she says, "Hey, Miss Pretty Lady from the club." She called me Big Booty Judy. Who you mean?
She called you what?
Big Booty Judy. Who you mean, Big Booty Judy? She bakes, so she had no idea. So it happened, and it'll be 6 years come December. So that's how I started being her baker. So I'd do her personal cakes, her sons, her daughters, her nieces. So yeah.
So your passion has literally turned into rewards.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, what advice would you give ladies who may not want to bake, but who know they could be a great leader, they could be a business owner, but they don't know how to get up and make things happen? Tell us some things on how you made it happen, though. I understand that you went back to school and you embraced your talent, but what did it take for you to say mentally, this is what I want to do?
Well, honestly, I've always been this person.
You've always been a diva.
I've always been this person.
Yes.
I've always been I don't like to use the word hustler, because hustler is that's a word for a man, but I've always been a get up and go type person. So I've never even in my darkest time in the back of my mind, this is going to last for a day or so because I'm going to make it do what it do.
Right. And if you get kicked down, you always know how to get back up.
Right. You got to get on your knees. You got to pray about it. It was at a point at one point I cried for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Got on my knees one day and I cried it all out. Got up off my knees and I hadn't cried about that issue since then.
Right.
And I made it work. And I was a single mother, 2 children. I'm still single. I like it like that. But
now that we're not talking about that.
I know I was gonna go back to that. But yeah. So women. It takes anybody can get up and do a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
But you got to be a special kind of person to get up and push yourself. Because money don't come to me. I got to go for it. I got to make it. I got to promote. I got to network. I got to do stuff. And it is hard work. And working for myself, I work hard.
That's right.
I work extra hard. And Monday, Tuesday is kind of like my down days and some Wednesdays. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I go 15, 16 hours. And it's so hard and with everybody wants to be a baker these days, but I don't compete with anybody.
Correct.
Because it is what it is.
You do what you do.
Bingo.
Right.
My work speaks for itself, but it's hard, but you can do it. Anybody could. Well, I'm gonna say women. You could do it.
Right.
It's not.
And what about? I've seen some of your posts because I've been following you. Most recently, I think you made a post about you're in the business, but when friends, you have to know how to separate friends and business because you did. Well, I know you did a post. You were like, "Look, I'm a business owner. I can't give everything away for free."
I don't.
But I know you had mentioned that. And how do you? Because at this point, you shouldn't worry about friends anyway. They're not paying your bills. So have you had any major issues with that? Because I know you made a post about that.
The main thing to me is that they don't really support the way that you think that they would. You're not gonna want to pay me $55 for this cake, but you'll go to Tiffany's and give them $75 because of the name, because you think that I'm not supposed to give you a discount. My mother and my grandmother received discounts or free cakes. I'm not built that way.
Right.
I have more than my bills to pay. So you can go to the supermarket.
Right.
I prefer to get new clients and new money. I'm not going to give you a discount.
New clients, new money.
It doesn't work that way for me.
Right.
I can't do it.
Right.
And I won't do it. And hey, I meant to order. Don't. And when you see me, don't say I meant to order a cake because we're talking about something. We're not talking about cakes right now. So no, I don't do the friendship thing when it comes to my business. And the ones that still support me, they already know that.
They're going to be there regardless.
Absolutely. Because when I come to you, I don't expect for you to give me a discount. Yeah. Now, if you come in just ordering, I possibly will throw in a discount, but don't expect it.
Absolutely. That's good.
I'm a little nervous.
What was Kathy Holiday? Guys, Kathy said she's nervous on the Meek Brown Show. Okay, we'll get some feedback on that one, don't you think?
Sure.
Kathy, you've been in business for how long for yourself?
Almost 7 years.
And where's your boutique?
I'm located in Irmo.
Okay, give everybody the address.
109 Woodspur, 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 Irmo, South Carolina.
And then let them know as far as they can get in touch with you on Facebook.
I am Kathy M. Holloman. That's my personal page. I do have a business page, a Sweet Boutique, Elegant Treats and Sweets on Facebook.
Let's say that again, Sweet Boutique,
Elegant Treats and Sweets. But I won't. I put so many more pictures and stuff on my business
fan page.
On my fan page.
Okay.
So and then I'm also on Instagram.
Okay.
She Bakes, SHEEBAKES. So there's 2 E's. And my email address is Holloman, HOLLOMAN 72@AOL.
Okay, good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the number is 803-546-5838.
Good job, Kathy. Now, do you get support from your family, though?
Absolutely.
Like your kids, are they involved in your business now?
Honestly, this is what they tell me. They be like, Mom, this is your thing. But they have helped me in situations. And sometimes on the weekends when I have a lot of sweets, my oldest daughter, I've taught her how to do candy apples and cake pops and certain things. So I'll wake her up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Got to pay your dues, right?
Absolutely. And she'll assist, or I'll wake up with the bag stuff or do certain things. But honestly, they don't really want to. They don't really care to get involved.
Okay.
They say that's my thing.
Now, are you mobile? Do you actually travel and you're delivering?
I do. I flew to Philadelphia in October for a wedding. I have a wedding coming up in Virginia that I got to go. So yeah, if they're paying for my travel and my hotel stay, I'm there.
I don't blame you.
Absolutely.
That is very good, Kathy. I just, after reading some things about you and knowing your story from, like I said, a single parent, and I know you're very strict when it comes to your kids, and that's awesome because we have single parents who are sitting home right now, and I'm not stressing single parent, let's just say a parent, period, or a woman, period, who wants to go into business. We come up with excuses. I don't have the money, I don't have the means, and that may be the case at that moment, but then you'll ask them, well, do you even have anything written on paper? And most times, well, no, not yet, but you have to start somewhere.
You got to have a passion for something. I agree. You got to have, whether it's, and I know a few friends of mine who's completely changed their career from law enforcement to now owning their own.
What they're passionate about.
Absolutely. Neat Nolly, I think she just opened.
She was on the show.
Yeah, she just opened up a store.
She's awesome.
She was in law enforcement, and now she's doing her thing with the T-shirts and the cups and all that. So you got to find your niche in something.
Right. And even if you feel you're passionate, well, that may not make money. We got to stop thinking that way, because I can assure you, whatever your passion is, and you turn it into a business, somebody's going to need your service.
I agree. Yes. Like I said, I didn't start this thing to make money. It was for my little cousins. Kitty cat, come
and you didn't realize how good, or did you always knew you were good at it?
I knew I was a good baker.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to incorporate both of them.
Right.
So once I started putting stuff on Facebook, that's when everybody was like, well, I really wasn't for sale, but okay. And it just went from there, and I love it.
But you promoted and market it yourself without even realizing. You probably at that moment, at that time, didn't have a business plan, but you started marketing yourself. And I've been told you have to invest in yourself first before somebody else will.
And scared money don't make no money. So you got
what was that?
Scared money don't make money.
Producer, make sure you put that on our tag. Scared money don't make money. Well, all right then.
Yeah. So I started,
ladies, we can't be scared. We have an example right here. You cannot be scared, and she's good at what she do. You can follow her. Please do. Once again, I take pride in, we have to support each other.
Absolutely.
We have to. There's no other way around it. If you did not hear about Kathy before this show, you know about her now. Go buy some cakes from her. I mean, you do all kinds, like you said, cakes, candy apples.
Cake jars, pies, strawberries, chocolate-covered Oreos. I do the...
Did you say... chocolate-covered strawberries?
And chocolate-covered Oreos.
That's one of my favorites, Kathy.
Well, then I have to bring you some.
Okay.
You'll have me back, okay?
Okay.
I decorate as well.
I know that. Please go look at some of her products, the things she's done. Some things I've actually seen her do and how she's decorate them. I'm thinking, okay, is that a picture out of a magazine? I need to see it for myself, but she's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the Meek Brown Show. I would like for you to come back and do a part 2.
Absolutely.
So we can go even deeper on your business plan and, who helped you, or did you just, sometimes it's not about who, you just have to go out and get help and find the help and see who you can build on your team.
Right.
So I would definitely like for you to come back to do a part 2. You promise to come
I
back?
will. I'll bring some treats next time.
Okay, thank you. Maybe my studio. I'm sure my producer heard that too. What you think? Thank you so much again, and I look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
This is Ron Harvey, and we're coming off of the Meek Brown Show, where she's talking about women in leadership. And so what we want to talk about today as a segment is the many faces of leadership. And so we have with us today Rhonda Sims, and it's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And so as we go into the next segment in the many faces of leadership, what is a leader, or who's a leader that's played a vital role in your life, and what impact did they have on you as a woman that owns or works in a company as a partner with the Fred team and Keller Williams?
One of the leaders that I can think of off top is Miss Rosalind Glenn, and she was a leader from the beginning to me. I met her as an advisor at USC in college, and I was in a sorority, and she advised me throughout my years of college. But not only that, she provided me a bridge to be able to build with her, as she provided financial support as my financial advisor throughout the years. So I just remember her presence. She was always articulate. She was always disciplined in her area. She was a very good communicator, and she was a leader not only in her specific area of financial advising, but also in everything that she did in the community, everything that she did regarding her family. She was just that leader that I admired as a woman.
Yeah. And so when you look at that, what was the impact that she had on you? Because you mentioned something about leadership presence, which is something that I think is super important that we don't talk about very often. It's not one of those pretty words. But what impact did it have on you going forward in propelling you to where you are today?
Okay. Her impact on me going forward was that she always gave me positive feedback. Okay. So she was influential in my life.
Yes.
She advised me throughout as far as giving me positive feedback on things that, I've experienced this before. Yes. Maybe you should look at this option. She gave me alternatives to do things, and she's seen in me greatness on things that I didn't notice in myself. Oh, wow. So that's how she was impactful to me, and that's what I look at her as a leader in my life. Yeah,
and so now you get an opportunity as a woman in business, making some key decisions throughout our city. So one of the emerging leaders in Columbia. When you look at that as a partner, on the Fred team, what are some of the toughest decisions that you think leaders in your industry have to make, and how do you make them?
I would say that some of the toughest decisions that you have to make is knowing that you can't take on everything. Okay. So you have to learn how to delegate. A lot of times leaders feel like if they take on everything, they're being a leader. It's not so much of you taking on things, it's so much of you allowing yourself to say, who are the good people that I can put in place to do this work? Who are the good people that I can depend on? So I think that we face a lot of times as leaders that we have to do everything. Yes. But we got to know how to delegate, how to trust people to be able to lead the work that you're trying to make an impact in the community.
Oh. And so when you look at yourself and your organization, and organizations have core, they have a mission, they have a vision, they have some core values. When you look at those, how do leaders, especially women leaders, how do you communicate that within the Fred team?
So our core values with the Fred team is God, family, and business. Wow. And not only do we live that through our organization and our business with the Fred team, but we also live that in our households. Okay. We show our kids that every day, we show them an example that God, family, and business is first. Okay. So with our staff, we have an administrator who work with us as well, who are part of our team, and other persons that are a part of our team as well. And we let them know that our values are God, family, and business. Yes. And not only that, we utilize that through our clients. Yes. We show them that, God is the head of our life, our family comes next, and then our business. And we actually try to utilize that with them as well to show them that, these are the things that are most important. Yes. And then everything else falls in this big rock, in its place that it's supposed to fall. Yeah.
So for a woman in the business, and you're in the business with your husband, how do you split those roles and responsibilities where you still allow family to be first and it doesn't get in the way of the business, and the business doesn't get in the way of the family? How do you do that and balance that equally?
And it's a challenge. Yes. I would say it's definitely a challenge, but you have to open up lines of communication with your spouse to set those boundaries. Yes. So when you're in the office and you're working, you dedicate your time to working, and that's your focus time. When you're home, you're in the place of peace with your family. That's the time that you have to separate, spending time with your kids, making sure that you're eating dinner with your family, and having the opportunity to enjoy them outside of business. You have to cut your phone off. You have to, we look at it a lot of times that we have to always be available. And I always ask the question to my husband as we've grown into the place where we are now, if you call the doctor's office at 6 o'clock, are you able to speak to the doctor? Yes. And we're not. So in real estate, it's no different. Our business is still a business, so we must operate that way. So that's how we utilize that in our families, and that's how we set the standard and boundary for family time. So what I hear from you, though, is that you're helping your clients understand how you guys do business versus allowing them to dictate how you're going to do business. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We have to set that standard up front. That's why when we meet with our clients, we set a consultation with them first, because we're not typical in our real estate business. We don't get calls and people say, hey, I want you to meet me at the house and show me this property. We want to take their information, make sure that we actually sit down and schedule consultation with them. It not only creates a relationship, but it also creates safety for us. Yes. So sitting down with them, getting to know them, and actually them getting to know us, because it's not ideal that every client that comes into our office we're going to work with. We choose who we work with as well, because they have to be in line with the values that we have as a company. Wow. So
every client, because it's easy to be in the business as a leader, and oftentimes we want to do things to make the money, but it sounds as though you're making sure that every client that you guys engage aligns with your core values.
Absolutely.
And so how has that been working for you? And what do you tell other business owners, especially women in business? What do you tell them to make sure they're doing? Because if they're married, it can be very difficult sometimes.
Right. I always say never lose focus of your values. Your values and standards are going to align with the choices that you make. So long as you know your values and your standards, have those up front first, because you'll never waver from those when you're deciding on who to do business with. Which organization should I be a part of? Should I go to this meeting? Should I build this relationship with this person? Those things will dictate the values and relationships that you have with the people that you grow with. So I always say keep your values up front, and that will guide you to the places that you should be involved in.
Yeah. When you think of your leadership and how you're operating within your organization, what is the one thing that stands out the most for you that's allowed you to reach the success that you're currently having?
The things that stand out the most is consistency. You have to be consistent. And sometimes we do lose focus of that as business owners, but you have to make sure that you invest in someone who's going to keep you accountable, whether it be your family, whether you hire a coach, whether you're in a group that actually keeps you accountable in certain areas. You got to make sure that you have that accountability that keeps you to that place. Because if you're not consistent, your business suffers. So you have to make sure and ensure that you are consistent in everything that you do across the board.
Wow, amazing! And catch that, the coach's coach, Ron Harvey, sitting on the sofa with Rhonda Sims and the Fred team. And it's important for us as business owners, regardless of what sector you find yourself in, is that you have someone to hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
And so it's important to hear that. When you look at yourself as a business owner in your team, what is a point that you'll share with the audience that it was a struggle and you had to find your way to get back into the game?
So I would say we've had some months where it has been a struggle, where we've lost focus, recently getting married, transitioning to a new household, incorporating our family as we are a blended family. So those things have been challenging but rewarding. So we've had to learn how to balance the family life as well as balancing managing our business. So to get back focused, you have to start with the fundamentals. You go back to the place at the beginning where you started, where things were working. So that's what we did. We went back to the fundamentals, to the basics, and we stayed consistent in doing that. And now we can consistently see that things are turning, things are getting better, things are growing, things are making a way in our business. So definitely finding what happened, what changed, what was the thing that affected the business, and then how do you get back to the growth? And so you guys are coming up this week, and you guys are doing a workshop, for the community. And so when you're looking at your business, what do you want people to know about your business? Our business, I know that our business is unique. What we provide to our clients is not the one-stop shop typical real estate business. Our mission every day is to empower and educate our current home buyers and future home buyers. And we do that by spending the time with them, making sure that they're knowledgeable about the process. So we educate them. What does it take to be a homeowner? What are the steps that we're going to go through? What are things that we should expect? So that's how our business is different from others. And we pride ourselves off of the education piece, because it's important as a homeowner that you are educated about the process, that you know what you're getting into, because the investment is one of the biggest investments that you'll make. And it does build wealth for your family. It does leave a legacy for your family. But what is the most effective way that you can do that? How am I educated in doing that? And that's what we offer in our business.
Awesome. And so how do people get in touch with you? Where you're located at, and what's the best way for people that are going to be watching to get in touch with the Fred team?
The best way to get in touch with us is through our phone number, which is 803-567-3009. Our website is www.thefredteamsc.com. And you can also, we have a lot of interactive and activity on our Facebook page. If you go to the Fred Team or Futures Real Estate on our Facebook page, that's the best way to get in contact with us.
And so I appreciate that as we come to wrap up what we're going to do here today to share with, what is the one thing that you want women to know that are in business that may be at that point where they want to give up? What would you tell them today?
I would say stay focused. always know what your vision is that you're headed towards. There are always distractions. There are always things that will come up, but know that the vision ultimately is going to be impactful. So stay focused, stay consistent. Always have your vision in front of you. I say, we put our vision in front of our computers. We put it on our wall in our bathrooms as a reminder that, if we go off track, we know what the ultimate goal is. And so we refocus. So I will always say, just keep it front of mind, top of mind.
Yes.
Sometimes I will even use my children and say, hey, remind mom that you have to go out, mom, and make a difference. Like he says that to me in the morning. He's 2 years old. Tell mom that she has to make a difference. She has to make the call. She has to make the contact with people. So have a thing that makes your heart moves in order for you to make sure that the vision is completed.
Wow, that's pretty good. I don't know if my 9-year-old will come tell me to make sure I do some work. I'm gonna be looking at her like, thanks for that, honey. But I appreciate it, and thanks for being on the Meek Brown Show with the segment of the Many Faces of Leadership. We really appreciate it and adding value to our community and making a difference. And so once again, Rhonda Sims with the Fred team, Keller Williams, reach out to them. They're definitely here to make sure your home buying experience is an enjoyable one and is not a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for having us on the show. Thanks again for everything that you're doing in our community. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Ron.
Yes. And this is Ron Harvey, Global Core Strategies, the Coach's Coach.
Thank you for watching the Meek Brown Show. As always, we look forward to hearing from you. Please like, share, and comment on today's segment and past segments as well. If you would like to be a guest on the Meek Brown Show, please email us at meekbrown@themeekbrownshow.info. You may also call us at area code 404-667-5073. Again, that's Meek Brown at themeekbrownshow.info. We look forward to hearing from you, and as always, have a sweet Meek week.